Jake and Sam Taylor park their truck in front of an old Victorian-style house. Jake admires how beautiful the structure looks, while Sam keeps checking his mobile phone. Jake asks Sam to go up the stairs and explains that the owners wish to restore the house so that it looks like it did in its original days. Sam asks where they should begin. Jake replies that first, the electricity must be turned on. Both go down to the basement in search of the circuit breaker panel. Jake turns on the lights and upon doing so, notices an old and strange device on the wall, a barometer. While he studies it, Sam receives a message from someone asking if he will be free later. He asks Jake how long they plan to work because he has plans that night. At night, Sam meets someone named Francesca at a bar. He introduces himself and apologizes for arriving late, mentioning that his brother Jake is still there. Francesca asks him why he brought that information up, and Sam explains that Jake has been difficult to deal with lately, especially after having adopted a child with his partner. Intrigued, Francesca asks more questions and Sam shows her a photo of Jake's family. The next morning, Francesca drives Sam back to the old Victorian house where Jake is already waiting for him. While walking up the stairs, Jake asks him if he has thought about joining the home restoration business full-time. Sam replies that he has not, that he has other goals in mind. Jake insists that it is time to take life more seriously and reminds him that his last big plan had been to look for a Honus Wagner baseball card at garage sales, hoping to sell it for a fortune. Sam laughs and says that it is still worth a try, but Jake remains firm, wanting his brother to find a true direction. Soon they begin to work on the house, sanding the old wood, removing damaged floorboards, and tightening loose screws, working hard while the sunlight disappears. Later that night, while they remove a large piece of wood, Sam notices something unusual, a small metal handle hidden under the floor. He pulls it and discovers a secret space under the boards. Inside, he finds an old cookie tin covered in dust. Sam opens it immediately, and inside there are some matches with the word Kavak on the label and a blurry photo of a beautiful woman. Upon looking at the photo, something about it seems strangely familiar to him. Before he can say anything, loud warning alarms begin to sound. A storm is approaching. Due to the storm, Jake and Sam quickly bring all the tools and supplies inside the house. While they prepare, the electricity suddenly goes out. Sam offers to check the panel in the basement. Upon arriving, a loud and high-pitched noise fills the air. It is so loud that Sam falls to his knees and covers his ears. The needle of the barometer begins to spin wildly, frantically, and his head starts to ache as the sound grows in intensity and resonates in his mind. Then, suddenly, everything goes silent. Sam observes that the circuit breaker panel is working again and runs to tell Jake, but upon reaching the main floor, he finds that everything has changed. The house is no longer damaged. It looks new and completely furnished. Confused, he wanders through the house and hears someone singing and playing the piano. He follows the sound and sees a woman in an elegant dress. When she notices his presence in the mirror, she grabs a vase, ready to defend herself. Sam knows her. She is the same woman from the old photograph he found earlier. She tells him to leave, believing that he is someone from the bank and that he is not welcome because he is trespassing. Sam tries to explain that he and his brother Jake were fixing the house, but she does not believe him. Instead, she begins to chase him while he looks for Jake, running up the stairs. She grabs a shotgun and demands that he explain why he is really there, or else she will attack him. Sam keeps going, heading down the stairs, and the woman, seeing that her mother is arriving outside, quickly tells Sam to leave, assuring him that if he wants to be safe, he had better get out now because her mother is even worse than she is. Sam sneaks out the back door just as the older woman enters. She calls to her daughter Evelyn, asking if anyone was with her. Evelyn replies no, without hesitation. The mother smiles and says that her fiancé, William, bought her a new dress for their engagement. She hands her a box and asks her to make sure it fits well. Meanwhile, Sam walks around the nearby town, impressed by the buildings and the old-fashioned clothing. He sees a street sign and goes over to read it, becoming surprised to see that the year indicated there is 1919. Back in the house, Evelyn takes out some records hidden inside the wall, places them on a record player, and sings quietly while the music plays, but her mother hears her and returns to the room. She orders her to hand over the records, saying that William does not like that music. Evelyn refuses, stating that the records are hers. Her mother reminds her that Emmett is no longer there, and without him, they have no money. She insists that Evelyn must marry William to secure her future. Evelyn hesitates and finally hands over the records. At that moment, Sam enters and says that he is a friend of Emmett. He explains that he lent him the records and came to reclaim them, Evelyn pretends to agree, saying that Sam is a doctor and that he once studied with Emmett in school. Her mother believes them and hands over the records. After she leaves, Sam gives the records back to Evelyn, who thanks him for his help. Evelyn asks him what he is looking for, and he confesses to her that he is from the year 2019 and is trying to return to his time. Evelyn laughs, thinking it is a joke. To prove it, Sam shows her the old photograph he found, the one with her face on it. Evelyn seems surprised and says that no one had taken it before. Sam comments that someone will eventually and asks her if anything unusual has ever happened in the house. Evelyn replies that her grandfather built the house 40 years ago and that he can talk to him that same night at the party. That night, Sam goes to the party with Evelyn, who introduces him to her grandfather, Warren. Sam asks him quickly if there is anything weird in the basement, especially when there is a storm. Warren does not answer immediately, but a man named Henry Barrett approaches and says that strange noises can occur because the temperature drops when there is lightning. Sam is about to ask more, but William hits his glass and calls for Evelyn. He goes over to him while the music starts and they dance while a pianist plays a soft melody. During the dance, William tells her that he has scheduled a photo shoot for her. Evelyn remembers Sam's conversation about the photo and realizes that it is coming true. When the song ends, everyone applauds. Evelyn approaches Sam and says that he was right about the photo. Sam nods, but tells her that he still needs to speak with Henry regarding the noise during the storm. Evelyn replies that Henry has already left and asks him if he would like to go for a walk with her, to which he agrees. They walk through the quiet streets, where Evelyn begins to ask about the world Sam came from. He describes the speakers and how they allow music to be heard throughout the house. She smiles and says that she would love to hear that one day. While they continue walking, Sam stops in front of a small bar across the street. It seems familiar to him, but he cannot explain why. Evelyn tells him that there is an underground club in that place and that to enter, one must say the password. Upon doing so, they enter, and Sam tells the bartender the word cabbage. The bartender nods and leads them to a hidden door. Going down the stairs, they find a lively crowd dancing to the rhythm of cheerful music. At the bar, Sam orders drinks, and while waiting, he notices a box of matches, the same one he found earlier in the house, which he discreetly tucks into his jacket. He turns to Evelyn, who is dancing happily, and asks her if she wants to dance. She accepts and both join the crowd, enjoying themselves under the warm lights. When the music ends, Sam encourages Evelyn to try singing. She hesitates, but Sam proposes flipping a coin to decide. She wins the toss and approaches the band with a word on her lips. Then, she signals for Evelyn to go up on stage. When she starts singing, her voice surprises everyone, even herself. Upon finishing, the crowd applauds with enthusiasm. Later, Sam and Evelyn leave the club. He comments on how much he enjoyed the music and how impressive the performance was. She, smiling, tells him that in reality, she was not looking much at the public, but was focused on something else. Just at that moment, her mother appears, who scolds them for having stayed out so late, and Sam tries to explain the situation to her, but she does not listen. Without saying anything else, she takes Evelyn away with her. The next morning, Sam visits Henry to ask him about the storm. Henry shows him a barometer and explains that the needle dropped before the storm. Sam points out that the barometer he saw spinning completely before does not work the same way. Henry tells him that it was a very rare storm, called a derecho, and that on a previous occasion it destroyed his barn doors. Sam asks to borrow the barometer, offering to fix the doors in exchange. Henry accepts. Evelyn, packing to leave, arrives just as Sam looks for her. She tells him to leave, but he tells her that perhaps he found a way to return to 2019. Evelyn asks why she should leave, and he tells her that she deserves a life where she can decide, even who to marry. She hesitates and finally kisses him, reminding him that the wedding is in 10 days. Sam warns that a storm is approaching. He places the barometer in the cellar and both wait. Evelyn stays with William while Sam works in the barn. They meet in secret at night, sharing quiet moments. One night, William sees Sam leaving and becomes suspicious. Later, Evelyn wears her wedding dress for a photo shoot, remaining silent while the camera fires. Thunder rumbles, and Evelyn says that she does not feel well and runs to meet Sam in the cellar. They wait by the barometer until William arrives accompanied by his men. William accuses them, and Evelyn admits that she never loved him. Her engagement was only for money. Furious, William pulls her away while his men beat Sam. After they leave, the barometer begins to spin, and Sam disappears, returning to the present. He runs upstairs calling for Evelyn, but sees Jake in her place. Upon understanding that he has returned, Sam explains everything and shows him the box of matches. Jake does not believe him, but Sam insists that he must return to Evelyn. Seeing his brother's determination, Jake agrees to help him. Later, Sam searches online for information about the 1919 storm and is devastated to see that Evelyn is among the missing. He hears a report that says a similar storm, the Derecho, might not return for the next 10 or 15 years. A true masterpiece. He knows this is his only chance to return to the past. Jake invites him to dinner, but Sam refuses, saying that he must stay close. Then sirens sound. Sam runs to the basement and the barometer drags him back in time. Upstairs, the house looks modern and in order. He sees a birthday cake and a sign with the names of Evelyn and her son, Sam. Following a voice, he finds Evelyn singing to her baby. Terrified, Sam watches in silence. He runs back to the barometer and returns to the present. He tells Jake that he saw Evelyn and her son in the future, and that the cellar being blocked prevents that possibility. Jake agrees to help him remove that obstacle in exchange for Sam going to the doctor. They begin to work, but Sam locks Jake in another room and returns to the past alone. This time, the cellar is full of water and Evelyn is not there. He finds her at William's house. Together they flee and see a whirlpool in the cellar. When they go down, the beam falls and traps Sam's leg. Sam tells Evelyn to leave, that he saw her in the future with a child and that he believes that child will not survive the flood. Evelyn refuses to abandon Sam and tries to free him, but she slips in the water. Sam grabs her hand and tells her, "I love you, but you have to let go of me." She is dragged away by the current and wakes up in the present. She runs to the room in search of Sam. Jake watches, slowly understanding what happened. Later, he brings her dry clothes and says that Sam always spoke of her. When Evelyn asks what he said, Jake replies, "They were not just words, it was the way he said them." He adds that Sam always talked about her photo and her old records. Evelyn smiles softly and says that she hid those records in the wall the day they met. Jake says the cellar looks intact and suggests that Evelyn's records might still be in the wall. Together they remove a panel and find 2 letters from Sam, one for each of them, full of hope. Sam managed to survive. Jake lets Evelyn read hers in private. In it, Sam says that he lived, that the storm never returned, and that he found peace in the past, encouraging her to move forward, for her life still awaits her. The letter for Jake simply says, "It is time to build your own house," and includes a rare Honus Wagner card, which is worth a fortune. In 1919, Sam hid Evelyn's photo and the matches inside a cookie tin, placing it behind the fireplace. He starts his own construction company and finds peace in that past. In the present, Evelyn's son asks, "Is there anyone on the stairs?" She replies that no, but then she returns alone, with her eyes full of tears. There is no one there, but the love still remains. And that is how this great movie ends. If you want to see more summaries of dramas like this one, I recommend this video.